Welcome to the hottest movie review on the internet today, the A-List Review. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Troop, and it's time to go back to the theater. And it's the latest film from Studio Ghibli, bringing director Hayao Miyazaki out of retirement. So this is a big one. My review of the 2023 animated fantasy adventure film, The Boy and the Heron. Coming up now. In 1943 Japan during the Pacific War, Maito, a 12-year-old boy's mother, is killed in a hospital fire. Sometime later, Maito's father, Shoichi, marries his late wife's younger sister, Natsuko, who's also pregnant with their child. The family moves to Natsuko's estate in the countryside, where Maito is greeted and later pested by a gray heron, who soon begins to talk to the boy, telling him that his mother is alive inside of an ancient tower. When Maito sees Natsuko entering through the tower, he follows and finds himself in a parallel dimension and magical world with the heron as his guide. So what did I think of The Boy and the Heron? I thought it's an imaginative and heartfelt Japanese animated fantasy film. It's directed by Hayao Miyazaki, who's also known for directing films such as My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Ponyo, and The Wind Rises. Miyazaki came out of retirement for this film, but it will most likely be his final swan song. Or heron song, I suppose. The 2D animation is beautiful and is a breath of fresh air in the crowded 3D animation field. It's filled with imaginative ideas you've never thought of seeing, and some very bizarre creature designs. As usual, the world building here is fantastic, and it's a very bird-oriented, fantastical land, including huge man-eating parakeets led by the Parakeet King himself, hungry pelicans, and of course, the heron. Speaking of the heron, he can look pretty creepy with what's going on with his character design, and we're not quite sure if Maito should trust him or not, but they start to develop an interesting bond. It's an odd film overall, and it can get pretty dark when it wants to, sometimes feeling like we're watching someone's dream or nightmare. Maito meets a number of intriguing characters on his journey, including a younger version of one of the maids, Kariko, who here is a fisherwoman and uses magic, bubble-like and adorable spirit creatures known as the Wara Wara, his wizard granduncle who controls the land, and Himi, a young pyrotechnic woman who resembles Maito's mother. If you're a Miyazaki fan, you'll probably notice some familiar beats with the story, but he puts a different enough spin on it that it works. The story is actually semi-autobiographical, and we see Maito dealing with some tough life lessons with grieving the loss of his mother at a young age, adjusting to this new life in the countryside with his stepmother, and just learning that life can be hard in general. The film is filled with messages and metaphors as well. There is some humor sprinkled in, thankfully, mostly coming from the old maids at the family's home. There were moments, especially towards the end, where I thought the pace was dragging a bit and probably could have been trimmed down. The voice cast stars Soma Santoki as Maito Maki, the boy who enters the oceanic world and goes on the adventure of a lifetime, Masaki Suda as the gray heron, the bird who starts pesting Maito and becomes his guide and protector, Amyan as Lady Himi, the fire maiden who becomes Maito's true guide and has a strong resemblance to his mother, Yoshino Kimura as Natsuko, Maito's new stepmother who's his mother's younger sister who disappears into the magical world, and Tukoya Kimura as Shoichi Maki, the air munitions factory owner and father of Maito, searching for his son and his pregnant wife who have gone missing. The English dubbed voice cast includes Luca Padovan, Robert Pattinson, Karen Fukuhara, how you doing, Gemma Chan, Christian Bale, Mark Hamill, Florence Pugh, Willem Dafoe, and Dave Bautista. The Boy and the Heron is an ambitious and beautifully made, magical, and sometimes disturbing entry in the Miyazaki catalog. Number-wise, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, which gives it the A-list rating of do it, and a high do it at that. Alright, well that's the show. I'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/WestsideOf515. Like the show on Facebook, Facebook.com/WestTroopAlist. And of course, you can follow me on the Instagram and Letterboxd at WestAlist. Until next time, Troop out.